Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Dr. Claudia Albers, Planet X research and professional physicist. And today I'd like to bring to you another one of my articles. This one's entitled, Was the Sun Already Not Shining by 1998? Now, the sun, as I have written in many previous articles, is no longer shining, and it most likely has not been shining since at least 2011, because in August of 2011, the sky suddenly went dark in the middle of the day over Argentina, suggesting that the atmosphere was already being illuminated from within by the sky simulation system. It also seems that the powers that be already knew in 1961 that the sun was going dark. And you may look at Article 464 entitled Sun Simulated Disclosure. They knew the sun was dying in 1961 and must have started preparing then. And here you can see a screenshot from a news program on television from Argentina, and they were explaining about what had happened that day, that the sun had gone completely dark suddenly in the middle of the day, and that was August 12, 2011. Now, the suddenness with which the sky became dark suggested it was an artificial system providing that light, as the real sun cannot go dark suddenly, and any other process such as a huge dark cloud or an eclipse would cause the sun to go dark gradually, not suddenly. It suddenly suggests that it was a device with a switch, and it was switched off. And you may look at Article 466 entitled Sun Simulated Technologies based on lasers, and the sun is no longer shining discovery. So you see that when the sun simulation stopped working, there was no sun at all to be seen, no real sun. If there had been a sun, even a weak sun, then we would still have gotten some light, but there was no light at all. It went from the middle of the day to the middle of the night. The evidence that the sun has now been replaced by sun simulators is overwhelming, as these light sources are neither perfectly circular nor yellow as the sun would be. Instead, they are white, sometimes with a yellow or pinkish ring around them. Often the simulators look hexagonal in shape or may have some other clearly symmetric shape which indicates that they cannot be the real sun. In addition, shadows appear on clouds which indicate that the atmosphere is not being illuminated from outside the atmosphere or even from above cloud altitude, but from below cloud altitude by simulators using holographic projection technology. The simulation technology is based on lasers, and the laser technology, including power generation with lasers, was available by 1972. And you may look at Article 407 for details on that. And here you can see two simulators. You can see there's a green laser beam coming from this one. You can see the hexagonal shape to it. It has 6 sides. This one there's a straight line there. It's very irregular in shape everywhere else, and there's a pink laser beam going through it. Clearly not the real sun. These are sun simulators. You may look at Article 466 entitled Sun Simulated Technology is based on lasers and the sun is no longer shining, for more details. But did the sun go dark long before 2011? Well, this figure here shows a screenshot from a YouTube video which shows a sun halo. This one is from October 2018. And you can see that the sun halo, there's the sun halo there. There seems to be a rainbow around it. Also, the region inside the sun halo is dark. And the sun itself looks ring, has a pink ring around it. There's a pale blue laser beam of light going through it. So it clearly is not the sun, the real sun. There are straight lines in the outline of this light source. In addition, there's a chemtrail and there's a cloud. There's a chemtrail cloud, and there's a shadow which this chemtrail cloud produces on cloud above it. And this shows that the light source has to be below the chemtrail, and there is no sun illuminating the atmosphere from above. Otherwise, a shadow would be impossible, because all the light would be coming from above the cloud. So the light has to be coming from below the cloud, and there is no sun outside whatsoever. Otherwise there would be no clouds. So this means the atmosphere is being illuminated from within. So as I said, the light source is white, and it has to be below cloud altitude. And the real sun would of course be perfectly round. Obviously this one is not. Now, as I said, there is this darker portion inside the sun halo, which would indicate that light is being absorbed through some kind of mechanism. And in addition, there's this rainbow effect at the sun halo. And that would require that light be refracted by slightly different amounts. And that is the different wavelengths being diffracted by different amounts by going through the edge of a lens, which is called chromatic aberration. This is illustrated here. When white light, which is made up of several wavelengths, which we detect as different colors, goes through the edge of a lens, then the different colors are refracted by different amounts, and it's called chromatic aberration. So that means that they would reach their focal points their focal points would be at different points along here. Now, the usual explanation is that a sun halo is produced by ice crystals in the atmosphere. This is absolutely incorrect and illogical, as ice crystals in the sky will have random orientations and cannot cause light to exit all crystals at the same angle, as occurs in the case of water droplets producing rainbows. Therefore, only an artificial lens can produce a halo in the sky. And this is illustrated here, how light or sunlight would be refracted at and exit these crystals at different angles, because the crystals would have random orientations, and so their faces would be facing the light coming from the sun at different orientations, different angles. So the light from the sun would appear to be scattered by these crystals, and scattered light can only look white to us. So these ice crystals in the sky would appear to be like clouds, because that's what happens with water droplets. When light is scattered off the water droplets, this is what occurs. This is why they look white to us. So that means that if there are ice crystals up in the clouds, all they can do is look white to us. And you may look at article 477 entitled Sun Halos, Products of the Artificial Sky Simulation System. In addition, in order to produce a rainbow, you need to split the different colors by quite a distance. And in order to do that with a water droplet, it takes two refractions, one on entering the water droplet, one on exiting, and another one in the middle, which is called a total internal reflection. And only after 3 refractions does the blue and the red light come out of the water droplet at such diverse angles that we can then see the separate colors, the red and the blue with yellow and sometimes other colors in between. So it takes a lot of refraction to do this. So water cannot just cause a rainbow effect to appear in the clouds unless we have a lot of refractions taking place. And basically ice is water. Now, so this is actually what is occurring. This is what can explain everything that we see with the sun halo. We first of all do not have the sun shining, as I have shown, and then we have the blue sky being produced by holographic projectors, holographic laser projectors, and they would have a diverging lens in front of them so that the light coming from them would diverge, would spread out, and so that the sky would be illuminated by blue light and look blue to us. But wherever the sun has to be produced, then you would need another lens in front of it. And then that lens would refract the light that's coming from the simulators around it. It's possible that they don't use this method all the time, only sometimes, which is why the sun halo is only seen sometimes. They may need to produce a more intense sun simulation at times, and then they bring in this lens which they place in front, which concentrates the light coming from this particular simulator. But because that light is concentrated, then the sky around it would look grayish, because there would be less light around the more concentrated light in the center. And then these simulators around the lens, some of the light coming off them would go through the edge of the lens, and it would be refracted by different amounts, the different wavelengths, and you would get the rainbow effect around the edge of the lens. And this is explained in article 477 entitled Sun Halos, Products of the Artificial Sky Simulation System. Now here's a screenshot from a YouTube video showing a sun halo in 2008, and you can clearly see that this is not the real sun. It's white, it has straight lines in its edge, it's not therefore perfectly round, and there is this red petal effect around it. So this is a sun simulator. You can see the rainbow effect. Obviously the different colors of white light have been split, so there's refraction there to would indicate that this is a lens in front of the sun simulator. This one is from 2007. You can see the same type of effect, the petals, the white sun. It seems to have a pink ring around it. You can see straight lines in its edge. It's definitely not the real sun. Pink, the red petals, 2007. So it appears that they were using sun simulators then already. They were illuminating the sky with holographic projectors and were producing the halo effect, as I showed in that figure above. Now here we see a screenshot from a YouTube video featuring a morning television program. And again, we have an image of the sun, which is clearly not the real sun. You can see there are straight lines in its edge. It looks white. It seems to have a yellowish ring around it, and then the red petal-like structure that we've seen before around that. This is clearly not the real sun. And if an image of the real sun at sunrise could no longer be found to use in this television program, and it is unlikely that the real sun was shining for any period of time by 1998. This program's from 1998. So in conclusion, the sun appears to have gone dark by 1998, and sun halos are produced by lenses in front of sun simulators. And these are the references. This is Dr. Claudia Albers, Planet X physicist. Thank you for watching.